Hello, my name's Gary Burns here for Santiago Television. Today we have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Maria Eugenia Moreta, who is a psychotherapist and a neuroscientist. Let's start by, if you can just explain more about your work. What exactly is it you do? Those are complicated terms.
I work at the University of Chile at the Faculty of Medicine, and I do research in child development. That's one part. And in my private practice, I do a kind of psychotherapy which is body-oriented. That means that I work with patients who have somatic symptoms. Because I work through the symptoms and I work with the body, with relaxation techniques and hearing people, touching people, and working with pain.
You also do some dance and movement therapy. Can you explain a little bit more?
Well, you know, the way you move, it reflects the muscular patterns that you have stuck for, so to say, in places where the movement doesn't go through. That means that the person has tensions. Through mindfulness, through relaxation, you get the people to go over the pain somehow. So we are trying to deal with the sensitization of this pain and trying to cognitively to kind of manage this pain.
Let's talk a little now about the recent earthquake we had in Chile. And that was a very strong quake. A lot of people were affected, very scared. What's happening? What are those physical symptoms? What's going on?
Well, you know, the people are very scared. That's true at all levels, even people who has not lost anything or their houses are okay. They are kind of concerned about, and they feel movements all over the place, and they feel that their bodies are shaking, or they have the experience to be very afraid to experience another severe quake. In the biology, we talk about the three main responses: either you fight, or you freeze. The most common response is to fly. So you run away from the danger because you have a nervous system which is programmed for doing that. And the fact that you move, it mobilizes your energy. The problem is you are stuck and paralyzed. That bring all your muscles in a state of tension that probably some people cannot absorb afterwards.
Right. This is a common theme. A lot of people, because of course it wasn't just the first quake. That was one event, and you have a lot of adrenaline, like you say. You have the fight or flight. Afterwards, we had tens of replicas, many replicas. So it seemed that some people are for a couple of weeks always on edge. What are some things they can do to stop those symptoms, or to get over that, or to put their mind at ease?
Be prepared at night, particularly when these things happen at night. Is much difficult because people is half sleep. So be prepared to have your glasses at hand, to have your shoes at hand, to have certain objects that are important for you, to have that handy. You are afraid, recognizing that you are afraid.
And what about children? How should we deal with children who are scared? And I know you deal in child development. What's the best way to carry on a family life when this happens?
Yes, well, you know, children is a very important chapter in that regard, because you know that children tend to imitate the behavior of the parents. So you cannot hide that you are afraid, but you can show your child that you have certain things that you can control. Even if the quake is there, you can get out of your bed, you can go to some place, you can put something over your head, or you have to show the kid some practical things he has to do. And of course, it's natural to explain them that it's normal to have fear. I also, as a parent, have fear, and but I have ways to deal with that.
What's the effect on later life for both parents and children?
Of course, this is going to be something who would last for a while. And well, we Chileans in Chile have a culture of earthquakes since we were small. The problem is the foreigners were not used to that. Besides that, people is still very afraid, and we don't know if this kind of overreaction of parents for sure is going to affect the overreaction of children later on, most probably.
As you're right, the people are very practical here, and they've managed to get back on their feet very quickly and overcome the earthquake, and that is something that's passed down through generations in an earthquake-prone country.
Transmission on earthquakes.
Exactly. And have you found that people react differently if they're from a country that doesn't have earthquakes habitually?
Yes, I would say that, of course, for foreigners who have never experienced such a big quakes, it has been a terrible shock because they are not used to that.
Is it recommendable for people to seek, if not counseling, to some support group or a way to talk about this?
Search for self-help groups who are not so popular in Chile, but I think because of the earthquake they are going to be appearing more and more. I think that's a good possibility.
Maria, I'd like to thank you very much for coming in and speaking to us today.
Thank you to you to have me here and to try to help a little bit.
You're very welcome. It's Gary Burns for TV Santiago.